Good morning everyone, how you doing? I'm Carl and this is Waterside for Adventures. Hope everyone's well. So we're out in the storms again. Got really high winds, 40 to 60 mile an hour, really big gusts, and I'm heading down towards Potter Heigham today. I'm expecting the tides to be over the edge and probably starting to fill up the fields and stuff. So I've got the old gear behind me, coming the waders so we can go for a wander if it gets deep. And yeah, let's go and have a look. So welcome in, enjoy the video. So as you can see, we've got sort of overcast sky, but the sun is breaking out behind the clouds, which is quite nice. It's definitely not warm though. We've got 6 degrees and a really horrible cold northeasterly. So definitely need to wrap up for this one. I've got my fishing suit as normal. Believe it or not, I actually managed to get all that horrible black painty oil stuff out of my fishing suit, so that was pretty good. When I done a trip down to Hemsby, up on the cliffs, there was a load of wood and it had all been painted with this yucky horrible black stuff, but after a few washes I managed to get it out with some different stuff. So I'm going to pull over here and we'll have a look at the new ditches and stuff and see what's happening there, shall we? Can already see there's water in the field. Oh, yep, they're already over the top. So let me get suited and booted and let's go for a walk. So we're on the path. These are the new ditches and stuff along here. They've dug out sort of twice, 3 times as wide, but they're definitely not working, as you'll see when I spin you around in a minute and we carry along this path and have a look what's going on. Like I say, you'll have to really bear with me because that's really crazy winds blowing my head off. Trees are all waving about. It's pretty rough, but that'll be worth having a look. You can see the ditch to the side of me there. That's the ones that they've dug out. But where it's going over is just a little bit further down here. And I think I can see lakes again, like we had before. Is it going to become worse this time? Because we've got a... Whoa! That wind is absolutely blowing my head off. Whew. Really, really blowing my head off, that wind. So, let's spin round and let's have a look, shall we? Okay, so these are the ditches. As you can see, they've been dug out all the way along. They're probably twice, if not 3 times the size as they used to be. They're about 4 foot deep. And they're overflowing again. It's been done this side of the road and the other side of the road. Just not enough. I'm going to have to go right into the fields, I reckon. You know, sort of twice that width to get anywhere near getting rid of this lot. Oh, really struggling to hold the filming gear. Literally blowing my head off, this wind. As you can see on this side, loads and loads of water. Oh, my hands are like ice. This wind. It's all flooding in again. If it carries on the way it's going, that's actually going to end up being worse than what it was before. All over this side to the left, the whole fields are absolutely covered. Can't actually see anything. I think the puddles on the top here are from the rain, but we have seen this road completely covered over before in previous videos. Swans seem to be enjoying the extra water on the fields and stuff. Scared the ducks. Not expecting people to be walking along here, are they? Yes, it's absolutely pouring in, as you can see, and covering the whole area. I won't walk along here too far today. We'll just sort of have a look, see what we can find, and then we'll move on with other parts. As you can see, it's getting pretty bad, and ditches on that side are completely flooded as well. Oh, getting blown all over the place. The way the water's lapping in is unbelievable. There's another whole field there, it's looking like a lake. It's definitely all starting to fill up very quickly. And if that comes through at that sort of speed, this is going to fill up very, very quickly. I'm probably catching it a bit early. I reckon by over the next few days where I'm standing will be completely underwater. I'll do my best. I like to try and keep you up to date as much as possible. And this is what we've got right now. Down here a bit further, it's just fields and fields and fields full of floodwater. You'd definitely be mistaken if you thought this was a lake, but it would be quite easy to think it was, wouldn't it? Cool. That is so cold. I can hardly feel my hands. My fingers are numb. We just want to get a bit further down here. We're right in the open, that's the trouble. And the wind's flying across. Not really doing us any favours. But it's the wind and the rains that's actually causing all this trouble, pushing all this water in. As you can see, the ditches are flooding along there, down the bottom there, flowing into the fields. A bit further up here you'll see where it's bursting, going into the fields on the side. And so this side you can't even see the ditch. It's completely disappeared down there somewhere. Ditches are all burst along the side here. You can see where the ditches are just flowing into the fields there. You think these gates, you're meant to be able to drive off this road and into these gates and into these fields. Not sure that's ever going to happen again the way it's going. They're going to be so saturated, these fields, they're probably going to be wet for the whole summer. Do you think this water's just seeping downwards and downwards and downwards? At some point that will hit the water table. It'll just be water. Basically the water's going right across over there, over to where the holiday homes are and the rental homes and people's actual homes. There's only a small gap between the path and the river. This just carries on and on and on down that way. And the further you go, you come down towards Lathams. And that's just the same, it's just like this all the way down. That's a bit crazy again. Poor farmers obviously can't put no cattle or nothing on here. Somewhere there's a van down there, I don't know what they're doing. Probably a water van, angling water or something like that. quite tempting to have a wander into the fields and have a wander, but not going to know any of the depths or anything of the ditches around the sides. Don't want to disappear under, it'd be pretty cold in this weather, and I'm quite away from the car. I think you get the idea as far as I can see basically, and as far as you keep going, that's flooded out. Okay, so I'm going to have a little bit more of a look around. If I see anything interesting, I'll show you. If not, I'll wander back to the car and we'll drive further into Potter Heigham and see what else is happening. Okay, so we're down the other side now, and this is like the other part of the ditch that they've dug out. It's all muddy up on the top here. It's definitely been water up here. Ooh, yummy. Looks like we found some water to go through. Nothing unusual. So yeah, you probably saw in one of the latest videos that the diggers are all the way along here, and they were digging this all out and basically doubling the size of it. You can see what they dug out, just laying along the bank on the other side there. So this is twice its depth now and twice its width, and it's still not pulling out enough. If I can see what I think I can see down the other side here, just past the bridge, then it looks like all the fields are completely flooded out and just as bad as last time. Actually, I can see from right here, this field here is flooded out just behind the reeds there. Got a duck, or a couple of ducks sitting on the other bank there. You have to bear with me a bit, because as you know, it's mega windy. All the ditches on this side, which no one really sees, they're all full as well, and if you look through the trees on the other side there, that's all full as well. So that's all been over. Over in the field behind there, it's all now filling up. It's filling up quite fast as well. Surprising. From the time you're sort of down here walking around, probably takes me what, 2.5, 3 hours to walk around and actually film one of these videos in different, in the different bits. And by the time you get back to the car, that's quite crazy how high it's come up sometimes. You can see it all in there, in the back there. Lots of water on with this stormy wind that we've got at the moment, which is very high, mile an hour. See where it's all going through into there. It's almost like they've cut their own little ditch way into there and let it flood into there, but you would think that was a livestock field. I think that was meant to be for horses and stuff like that. I think that's their way of stopping it from flooding onto the road. Down this other side is looking like the fields are filling up as we speak, which I'm not surprised about. I thought that might happen, even though they have dug out all the ditches. So Potter Heigam's there. We're going to wander this way. We'll have a look at the rest in a little while. We'll just have a look along here. All these ditches here have all been widened out. I don't know if you saw that, but a fish moved over there. There's half decent fish in the ditch down there. Bit of a shame. Yeah, this is now starting to fill up the fields down the back there. And this middle field here is already 3/4 full, so we'll take a little wander to that. Ditch on both sides is filling up quite badly. This side's obviously the worst and the deepest. Again, it's made its own little sort of channel, and it's going off down that way. It does run down between the fields normally, but it's such a tiny little trickle that's not even worth talking about normally. But at the moment, it's filling all these up. These are pretty deep. The field's further down, the other side of this gateway and stuff down here is all filling up too. That ditch there you can't really see on that side now, but that's full. And there's bits coming onto the road. And, well, as you can see in front of me, it's starting to burst its banks and starting to fill up this roadway. I've seen this road completely covered before and right across, and wouldn't be surprised if I'll be doing the same again. You can actually see what's happening here. It's coming out the broad over there, which the whole pathways are all full up there. It's coming down behind them trees there into that ditch, crossed onto the road here, across here, and into there. So yes, it's pushing out there quite badly. I think you get the idea of what's happening there. It's basically filling up the whole area again. I would think in a couple of days' time this whole area, even where I'm standing, will be underwater if the tide keeps coming in at this rate anyway. Don't know how well you can see, but just up on the top there where it's meant to be a road, that's all full of water behind them boats. It's actually a road. Can't really go up there because it's a private area. Swans having fun over there. And yeah, just basically as far as I can see that way, that's pouring in. The further we come this way, the more, well, you can just basically see the broad is part of the car park. I don't know if I can go across there without sinking. No, that ditch is a bit deep, but I think you get the idea. That road is completely flooded and just completely joining the broad. And obviously the deeper I get, the more it's going to pour over the side here, the more it's going to fill up all these fields. So I've sort of walked to the end of this pathway where the boatyard is, and you won't believe what I can see here. It's literally coming in like a waterfall. mean, look at that. That is a serious amount of water pouring out of the Broads, filling up these ditches. You know as well as I do that ain't going to take too long to start filling up these fields if it's coming in at that rate. Whew. That is crazy. It's filling up there, down behind the back there. All the fields and stuff are full, so a lot of it's going that way. Further down that way, all the fields are full. And across there, all the fields are full. So you're getting the idea, but that is, yeah, that is just unbelievable. So we'll work our way along through Potter Heigham and see what else we can find in the main bits. But I'm just going to walk along the boats here, the ones that are for sale, and have a little nose on the way through. Always good to have a little look and see what's what. This one's a birchwood. Actually looks quite a nice boat for 3,000. If it had a good old clean up and polish, buff, you know, the whole lot, could be quite a nice boat. And not a serious amount of money really, to be fair, for what it is. That's not very nice though, all that oil down there. So I'm guessing it's got a problem on the leg on the back of the boat, leaking oil. Another boat here, it looks quite nice. These two in front of us look fairly similar. You can see how they're blowing all over the place in the wind. That one's already sold. Quite a nice boat. This one's 43,000. So you're getting a lot more boat for your money. This one's already sold. I think the boat season's sort of now starting, so it's all starting to happen. All the boats are getting sold up. This is another nice boat for your money. 14,000. And then this one here will be fairly expensive. $75,000 for a sea line. Quite nice there. And you've got this one here a bit bigger. And then you've got some more down the side there. And they go sort of much higher in prices. It's a Seamaster, 14,000. Quite a decent sized boat. As you can see, the Broads Haven car park is all now starting to fill with water again, and they're trying to pump it out with pumps. It's not going to be too long before this is all filled up again. Right, let's have a wander through and see what else we can find. Just in the car park at the moment. Lathams is just over there. Then you got the fishing shop just down to the right there. There's plenty of people about. It's pretty busy. So we're in the back of Lathams, and as you can see, they're digging out a drainage along the back there. Big old ditch. Got the diggers in. They've got to get rid of the water because that keeps flooding out the whole car park and actually going into the buildings. I've actually got video of that on other videos that I've done on the channel. If you look over the back there, they've had to put a mud thingy up because it's already full of water right now. So they're going to have fun trying to get rid of all that. They need to dig it as wide as possible, deep as possible, and hopefully get rid of all the water. I have to obviously relay the car park afterwards. Watch where I'm going. See the old fence and stuff where it's all coming down from the water. That used to come right up here, the water, and go up there into the buildings, which I can quite easily do again. They used to flood out all the yards. Obviously they're trying to stop that and trying to stop flooding the shop. So we're coming up to the normal area, to the bridge, where people sit on the benches and stuff and people go fishing. See what we got. Oh, we're flooded alright. We are very flooded. Really deep. There's the bridge. It's nearly over at the side there. This is pretty deep, to be fair. It's not frozen this time. Last time I come through here, this was all frozen when it flooded last time, but it's been all nice and clear since. The last few days, all the winds are built up. It's rained like mad. And yeah, it's all here again. Cool little boats, had a extra cabin put on it by the looks of things. But looks pretty good. You know, I don't mind the old custom boats and doing a little job like that. He's got a little spot now to go inside and out of the rain and stuff. It's quite cool. This whole area is completely, it's going to be going over the edges soon on the pathways. You can see how the water's absolutely rushing down the river. Oh, giving me leg ache. It's pretty deep. Could actually be the deepest I've actually seen it in this part so far this winter. For a change, this garden's not actually completely flooded out. There's some water in there, and that's all now starting to go in. But it's part of why they're trying to do the drainage around the back there, so this water will disappear instead of sitting in people's gardens and sitting on the pathways. Big old Broads barge there, workboat, sitting there on the little staithe. Under the bridge here is, oh, it's just joining the river, it's completely flooded out. Whee, it's pretty deep down here. Just about see the bottom, so I'm just being careful and seeing if we can walk across, which we can. The water's just pouring in. This is meant to be a pathway around here. You look down, you can actually see the pathway, but yeah, that wind is absolutely flying down the river. And all that extra water will come with it as well. You can see it all over the other side is completely flooded and way past the moorings. But we'll have a look at that when we get over there. Oh, I can't believe how deep it is here. It's up at my knees. Which is pretty deep for under the bridge. That's only like a sandy area. There's no concrete or nothing there. I'm getting absolutely blasted by the wind again. Along this bit where I'm walking now, this is a concrete path. It's at least a foot and a half going up these doorways and into these properties. This field over here is now starting to fill by the looks of things. This one was completely flooded last time we had a look. You couldn't even see any grass or anything. Oh, this is flooded over badly. It's slipway you can't even see. Where I normally sit and fish on the end there is not there. And this just carries on all the way down the pathway by the looks of it. We'll go up to the picnic area, which is here, where the benches are. There's a slipway down there, so if you do walk in here, be very careful, otherwise you'll end up 4 foot down. You can just see the boarding there to the slipway. It goes in down there and it's much deeper. There's the mooring pegs on the side. And we're well over them and that's still pouring in. It's pretty deep here as well. It's literally like waves coming down the river. No exaggeration. I say much water's pushing down and how much tide is coming with it. Got the wind back in that as well, which is pushing it pretty hard. As you can clearly see, it's pretty rough. It's really pushing down. It's the second road bridge there. Yeah, it's quite shocking to see actually. I've never actually seen it really pushing down the river like this. It's literally like little waves. Well, they are waves, not like. It's like a sea river, not like a freshwater river. Right, let's move on, see what else we can find. See the slipway on the other side there is completely flooded into the car park. You can't really tell where the board starts and where it finishes over there. Just comes straight over the top. It's flooding everywhere out. This side's still okay. There's just that little bit higher over by the Phoenix Fleet and all that is completely gone. All underwater. Same as all the moorings all the way along. It's not looking too good. The roads just a bit further down, as you can see, are already flooding. And as we come down into the car park, you'll see the car parks are pretty full of water. So let's go and have a look, shall we? Some areas are quite a bit deeper than they've been any other time. Up in the top corner is good for the old camper and car, but the rest of this is too deep for cars to go through. Definitely don't want that. And then this middle bit's a bit higher. Back end's completely flooded. Fences down there, and this slipway is completely gone. Poor little boat still sitting on the bottom. We saw that once before. Hasn't been raised. Just a shame. I don't think it'll take too much to get that back up. It's a case of probably getting down in there, turning the boat on its side so it sort of the water comes out of it, if that makes sense, instead of trying to pull it upwards. And you probably pull it out. All flooding onto here, over near the bridge. The little arches on the side of the bridge are just basically full, they're touching. And on normal tide you can get a small canoe or something like that to go through there. So yes, definitely pouring its way in. Same further down there, it's just all coming over the edges and pouring in. So as we can see, the water's absolutely pouring out the Broad and filling up this road. Completely come right across there, it's already worked its way down the road down that way. Around this side they'll have to move their cars. Storage areas where the boats are normally kept is completely flooded over. The whole building is completely engulfed in water. It's flooding through the car park, that's coming down through here, through the ditches, along through the ditches, into the, what would you call it, another ditch, or sort of like a rivery bit. It's filling that up. Must be absolutely full in there. Slipway and everything is completely underwater and gone. Wouldn't even attempt walking over that area. Same here. Whee, it's muddy on here. It's all muddy and yucky along here. Trailers are starting to get buried. And the little back ditch that runs along the back here. Is already completely full and pretty much joining the Broad there. And then the big hole over the back there is already 3/4 full, so there's not many more areas for the water to go. As for the moorings, they're non-existent. Completely gone all the way down there. Probably worse than any other time I've been along here. And we're still going up tide-wise, so yeah, pretty bad. If you carry on down this track, you come to the holiday homes and stuff, and the whole pathways are just completely flooded. Oh, we've got a boat. Haven't seen many boats out lately. Pretty rough. Yeah, not so good for the people trying to make a living. Looks like there's a few project boats stored along the back here. Hopefully they're getting all nice and sorted out and ready to take out in the summer. We've got water coming down the hill here. Obviously that will pour down a fair bit at high tide. Oh, it's absolutely pouring anyway. It's not even high tide, look at this. Like. It's just unbelievable how much is coming out of the Broad and then into the ditch. You can see how the fields and that are filling up so fast if that's coming out at these sort of speeds. The river's just made its own little path all the way through now. This used to be like a little cut down for the middle, it's now a big wide area because that's just coming through every high tide. It did dry up for a little while, but only talking about a little while, and then a week or so later it was all back again, all starting to build up again. So we're completely flooded out on this side of the bridge. And that's pretty deep actually. Just off my knees. Cool. All the moorings and everything on this side are, well, the water's halfway up the posts. They're pretty much gone. This area is what's taking most of the water. Normally, once that build up, that goes up and over the bank here, which is a big dip at the moment. It normally goes up and over here, runs down here and starts filling up this field, which by the looks of things that's already started doing at the high tides. There is actually water running through there, so it must be coming under the bank or through the bank somehow, because I can see it running in, as you can see there. So I don't think it'll be too long before these fields all start filling up. Definitely all the way along here is getting pretty deep. Look at that. Well, you can see yourself just on my knees. Pretty deep. And again, them waves that are coming down the river. Cool. It's not very often you see the Broads with a choppy sea-like look. If you were going against that in your boat, you'd be going boing, boing, you'd be bouncing up and down. It'd be quite rough. Nice little boat he's got over there to cruise around in. Whew. It's quite surprising how all of a sudden that floods out again. So them fields are so saturated that as soon as a bit of water going in, that just sits on top. And that's sort of the end of it, really. Just having a little look through the sort of boatyard area, and they're completely swamped out. Very, very deep. The delivery van's trying to get in, can't get through. Crane's well up in the water. It's worked its way down the road. Pretty bad. Okay everyone, that's another video done, I think. We've had a good old look round. As you can see, it's all starting to flood out again. As you can see behind me. But digging out these bigger ditches and widening the ditches and stuff like that has made no difference. If enough water comes down, that just starts to fill up. I mean, the fields are not completely flooded, but a lot of them are nearly full. And if the winds, like we've got at the moment, carry on, and all this water keeps pushing in, they'll be flooded within the next 2 days. I'll keep you updated for that. But I don't know, let me know what you think in the comments below, and we'll go from there. Right, thanks for coming in, appreciate your time, hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you somewhere else on another video very soon. If you fancy some bonus content, why not come and join me over on TikTok, where we do extra stuff that we don't put on YouTube. Hope to see you there. See you again soon.